They added the pals part as they became more popular, especially among the teens. That explains it. I'm not really one for the music of today. Maybe I should ask Gumshoe about it later. Second thought, I can already see how confusing that conversation would get. Oh, well, shit. I won't rest until I've inspected every crook and granny. Ah, something in his pocket. I hope he won't mind if I take a look at what's inside. It's a picture. Looks like it was taken inside a building somewhere. Mr. Hicks' machine is nowhere to be found. His machine? His cell phone, Mr. Nero. Ah, so I guess because it's not here. I think we can safely deduce that the killer took it. Wait. There's no grape juice on the soles of the shoes, making it highly unlikely they entered this elevator after turbulence. Okay. These counter windows offer a glimpse of the sky, but these clouds, they tell me nothing. Mr. Edgeworth, you look like you're talking to the clouds. Is that so? Then tell me, what do you suppose I said to them? I don't know, but it looked like a rather one-sided conversation. Yeah. Yep. I have it. I don't understand. Yeah. I can prove that someone other than myself was here around the time of the murder. What? Really? It's rather simple, really. Proof is in the pudding, rather, the grape juice. Footsteps here confess to me this very fact, that someone exited the elevator alive. Seeing as how the victim is dead, that would mean a second person. But couldn't the footprints be from the victim? But if you take a look at our shoes, you'll see the soles are spotless. Which means Mr. Hicks wasn't alone in the elevator. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There was actually one other person inside. What's going on over there? Unforgivable. This is unforgivable. Do you understand what I'm saying? The movie is late. That's the same level of bad as if the plane arrived late. But the movie... What? I will not talk to you anymore. You are just wasting my time. What does the matter, Mr. LeBlanc? There is no emergency. Please return to your seat, sir. Don't tell me what to do. I do not need to sit down. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, did you prove you are innocent yet? If you would like, I will prove my innocence to you right now. What? Bullshit. Are you saying my eyewitness testimony is mistaken? Not mistaken, merely that there's no room for doubt. I'd be most honored if you could please tell me what you saw in detail once more. Fine. Suit yourself. I'm certain I saw Mr. Hicks enter that elevator. It was when the needles on my pocket watch pointed at the 6 and 12. It was discovered 15 minutes after that in the lounge, yes? Then you, the only person in the lounge at that time, must be the criminal. They make sense, but after all, I was the only person in the lounge. So my eyewitness testimony, if you think you can destroy it, let me see. Do I look like a man who is having the time to wait for you? Why is he so pissed? I'm the one accused of murder. Anyway, discredit that fucker. Now! Sorry, we're eating some mango today. That's going to be my last piece. And we're going to put it all back up again.
Hold it!
Mr. LeBlanc, were you able to get a good look at the inside of the elevator at that time? Of course, I saw what was inside. And you're sure the victim was in the elevator alone? Yes, the only person inside was that Hicks man. That last outburst was blah 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 blah. It's too important to let go.
Hold it!
Was he really alone? Of course, I will bet even 1 cent. Cheap ante for a cheap testimony. But if that's how you want to play it, I'll happily take your 1 cent.
Hold it!
I assume the pocket watch in this case is the one you keep checking, correct? Well, you noticed. It's a very expensive antique, I'll have you know. The feeling is wonderful when I fully wind it up by hand. It does look very well designed and quite classy. I will have you charged if you touch it. I will have to charge if you want to touch it. Mm-hmm. That's quite alright. Let's continue with your testicle. What a cheap man you are. Now return the time you wasted back to me. If we must, I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator at 6.
Hold it!
It's true that I found the victim's body at 6:15. And that's when I found the 2 of them as well. See, it all matches my testicle. Then you, the only person in the lounge at the time, must be the criminal.
Hold it!
That is the most mistaken way of thinking. The most mistaken way of thinking I've ever heard of. No. Your silly opinion is what is mistaken. Please calm down, the both of you. In a sense, you're both mistaken. If that isn't the pot calling the kettle black, then I don't know what is. I spy a little hole in his words. As you wish, asshole. I will now show you the proof of my innocence. And now we're going to object in 3, 2, 1.
Objection!
Mr. LeBlanc, what is it? There's a very glaring contradiction in your testicle. What do you mean? Take a look at the area in front of the elevator. There at the spilled grape juice. Yes, and will you admit you spilled it with your... Will you also admit you spilled it with the blood? No, it spilled itself during the turbulence. But the interesting thing here is a set of grape juice footprints. Footprints? Yes, the one that lead from within the elevator out to the lounge. It's evidence that proves that someone else was in the elevator. Someone other than Mr. Hicks exited the elevator alive. There must have been another person in the elevator with Mr. Hicks. Now then, I'm done playing games. Why don't you tell us the truth? Can you please translate for us? No way, that's totally impossible. I guess is what he said. I know there was no other person in there. I saw it with my own eyes. If you wanted to know what I think, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't think Mr. LeBlanc is lying to us. I suppose she's right. He doesn't seem to be lying, but then what does it mean? What about this contradiction? Mr. LeBlanc, please just one more. Will you recall the details of what you witnessed? Alright, part 2, bitch! I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. I was always checking the time over and over again. I happened to follow that man with my eyes when he passed me. I clearly saw into the elevator he was entering, but I swear there was no one else inside. No one. Mr. LeBlanc, if you would please calm down. What? Dare you have an issue with my eyewitness testicle? Ah, no, not at all. Forget I said anything. Yet again, he doesn't appear to be lying. But I can't let this testicle stand as the truth.
Hold it!
So, are you still upset now? I'm always upset. The only time I'm not is when I have a piece of art in my hands. It's surprisingly easy to believe that about him. But I was even more upset when Mr. Hicks walked by.
Eureka!
Holy 70 months. What the farting cow penis, I am so tired, and we both chonky fuckers also. Happy belated birthday again.
Hi, Sarge. Thank you for the resub. If you have a cow that has a penis, the first thing I would question is your cow. And thank you for the belated birthday wishes. Thank you. Let us continue our lovely little rebuttal. Why were you so attentive to the time? Because something unforgivable was happening. Come to think of it, you were yelling about something unforgivable earlier. I was giving a complaint to the attendant about the movie's starting time. Return back my time and money. Do you understand the point? Movies? You talking about the in-flight one that's mentioned in the magazine? An interesting summary of the plot and its start time. Interesting. All times are shown or correspond with our departure time zone. They were supposed to show License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder. I cannot see that movie in my country. You can only see it on international price. I look forward greatly to that movie. When I checked my pocket watch whenever possible so I would not miss it. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I got on board. So my watch is not wrong, it matched the schedule. But the movie was still late, very, very late. Your pocket watch, I'd like to ask you a little more about it if that's alright. We know it's the other way around. The movie should go with the destinations, not the destination, but the departure. I even set my time to the destination time when I got on board. Now, if your watch has been set to our destination's time zone, it would mean that your watch is displaying the time of our destination. And, yes, and the correct time is worth its 6 cents. I'd like you to take a look at this. If you believe the Sky magazine, clocks on this flight run in accordance with the time zone of our departure. The movie schedule is also created with that in mind. Miss Narrow, for confirmation's sake, what time zone is this flight aligned to right now? Well, it made a short stop at a transfer point. That's right, it was in that small Asian country, the Republic of Zangba. Well, then we didn't readjust our onboard clocks at that time. So right now we're still running onboard Ginian time. What? The time difference between Virginia and our destination is 9 hours. In that case, it's only natural that your watch should be out of sync with the schedule. Further, with your analog watch set to our destination's time, it would appear to be running 3 hours fast when compared to the flight's onboard clocks. It also changed everything about your testimony, and you can bet 1,000,000 cents on that. In light of this information, it means you saw Mr. Hicks at 3 a.m. My 1,000,000 cents! This should clear up all the remaining accusations. So this basically widens the time frame of the time of death, right? Yes, because Mr. LeBlanc saw the victim enter the elevator at 3 a.m. Means the time of the death could be anywhere from 3 to 6:15. My question is, where was Mr. Hicks during that span of time, and what was he doing? I got something to say. And you are? Yeah, I'm Cammy Meal. I'm a flight attendant. What is it you wish to say? I think your story is a little different from how I remember it. What do you mean, Cammy? I saw Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know? What? How can you be sure of the time? Oh, that's right. He pushed his call button while we were parked at the transfer point. The stop we made was for a refueling and cargo transfer in Zhangfa, right? Yep, it was from 4 to 5 according to our clocks. During that time, did any passenger leave or any new ones board? Nope. Not a single person got off or on in Zhangfa. What about the flight crew? The few that were handling the cargo transfer might have temporarily gotten on or off, but eventually everyone, including Cammy and myself, got back on the plane. So basically, I can assume no one left or got on since our initial takeoff. Interesting, I should keep that in mind. Yeah, and I answered his call. I can tell you Mr. Ackby Hicks was there in his seat when we took off again at 5. Alright, then that puts the time of murder between 5 and 6:15. Now, what time did you come down to the lounge, Mr. Edgeworth? I remember coming down here almost as soon as we left Republic of Zhangfa. You were here from the whole time from 5, yes? You're the only one who could be the killer. Mr. Edgeworth, were you really here in this lounge the entire time? Unfortunately, yes. But then how do we explain the footprints? Is that not obvious? This man waited for Mr. Hicks here in this lounge, waited to kill him. And then he put the corpse in the elevator. That's when the turbulence happened. My eyewitness testimony might have been mistaken, but what time I saw Mr. Hicks on the elevator on the second floor does not matter. Because the entire incident concluded here in this lounge. Everything happened in the lounge. Is that what you really believe, Mr. LeBlanc? What? Do you have another idea? I simply feel there's something out of place in the scenario that you presented.
Take that!
These footprints, which direction do you think these are headed? That'd be to the inflate shop. Correct, they are headed in the direction of the shop. But they look disconnected. They end all of a sudden. You're right to point that out, that they do not form one continuous trail to the shop. However, there's another piece of evidence that connects the shop to our crime scene. What else points to there? It's the aminal.
Take that!
The murder weapon. This little piggy bank is sold at the inflate shop. It's sold there and only there, and it is not displayed here in this lounge. How, then, did it find its way here? Don't you find that a teeny bit suspicious? Such a trivial point. It only means you prepared it from taking it from the shop before coming in here. Doesn't prove you're innocent at all. Is there no way to win with this man? If I may. What is it? You see, well, it's just as Mr. Edgeworth says. Oh, and why do you know this so well? Well, it's just that the piggy bank was there in the shop. I saw it with my own eyes. And when was this? It was maybe around 5:40. Isn't that just before we hit that patch of turbulence? That's right. You were in the shop just before the turbulence? Yes I was. Come to think of it, Mr. Nero, when I found the body, I believe you came out of that door. Yes I did. And what's beyond that door? That's the flight attendant's room. And you were on the first floor? Yes. I had to do something at the shop, and in the flight attendant's room. I went into the shop first, and then to the flight attendant's room. Are you saying you passed by me at some point? Yes, you seem to be really into the issue of Sky magazine you were reading at the time. I don't suppose you noticed me walking by. I vaguely recall someone walking by, but I didn't take notice of who. Anyway, the piggy bank was definitely there at the shop when I went there. Why did you go to the shop in the first place? I went there for a work-related matter. Work, you say? Yes, the upkeep of the shop is one of my responsibilities. Why didn't you say anything about that until now is what I want to know. In any case, I believe it's clear that the shop needs to be investigated as well. Shall we head over there then? What is it now? Aren't you forgetting something, Miss Rhoda? Don't you need the captain's permission to check the shop? I haven't forgotten, but I've already asked him for permission to search the entire plane. So I think we're alright. That's weird. What is? Well, I just talked to the captain, see? And he said that he didn't give you permission to do anything like that at all. What's the meaning of this, Miss Tenero? Means she's lying. Go on, admit that you are. You said you had permission to search all over, but you don't, and yet here you are. You, flight attendant, what are you trying to do? Pull the sheep over us? The captain's calling for you, Miss Rhoda. Oh, but don't worry. I already got permission to search the shop from the captain. See, unlike you, I do things the right way. Bitch! Bitch, 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 bitch. Miss Tenero, why would you do such a thing? Please excuse me. Looks like I get to be in charge now. Please go back to your seat, Mr. LeBlanc. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you would follow me, I will be your guide. I mean, she's wearing her clothes, right? She's just one oops before everything is spilled out, that's all. I'll be your guide from now on. There's something about Miss Tenero that has piqued my curiosity, but right now investigating the in-flight shop is my top priority. So this is the in-flight shop. Quite a mess in here. You think? Guess I'll have to clean things up in here then. Hee hee. Hold on. You can't clean up a potential crime scene. Oh, thank goodness. I hate cleaning so much. I mustn't rush things here. I must remain calm, cool, and collected. Because this piggy bank was left at the crime scene. It's a very good chance that the killer had paid this place a visit. Inside this display case is a row of lifesavers and life vests. Sell a lot of those when there's some kind of accident or something. But some people buy them even when there's nothing going on. How about Mr. Edgeworth, care to buy one? I sense that this shop is one shopper away from being sued. Stuffed toys just like the one Miss Meal is holding are on display here. They're relatively cheap, which explains why they're on display so haphazardly. How about Mr. Edgeworth? You know you want one too. Great for when you're stressed. Why do I envision stuffed animal abuse when she says that? What are these? Well, those are a company completely original line of suitcases. They're practically flying out the door. That's how popular they are. You should buy one and see how you like it. You won't regret it. Perhaps that's how things work on this flight, but in the real world, you try and then buy. No way, but either way, it really doesn't matter. True, either way, why would anyone buy a suitcase after they boarded the plane? Anyway, see that? Just look at the captain. Look at all the Captain Yugo heads painted on there. Cute company mascot, isn't he? They're painted on with a lot of care. Doesn't he look like he's about ready to jump out at you? Certainly is making something jump inside my stomach. Huh? Oh, I guess there's no fooling your refined taste. You looked like you really wanted to get one, and I thought I was going to finally make my first sale, but you saw right through it. Hi, Dave. Glad that's done, though. Never make me try to give you a sales pitch again, okay? Can you set that up, Zerditor? If you're around? It's a kid's game. Let's show more cleavage. Actually, Dave, this game is rated T for teen. Because of boobs and other things. There you go. Gamba's up for being... Sorry, I was eating some mango. Oh. Oop. Teehee. It really is pretty horrible, isn't it? You want to know something? This suitcase was designed by Miss Rhoda. She designed this? Yeah, it was a company-wide contest. Well, it does have a very sharp design sense. Sharp? More like stinky sharp cheddar, maybe. I really have no idea why the bigwigs decided to go with it. It's so bleh. They even got digital nip. Yeah, well, that's what you have to have. She's definitely... Yes, she has diamond nips. Diamond nips. Miss Tenero designed this, didn't she? It's definitely not what I would have expected. You okay? I'm fine. Please watch yourself, Miss Meal. Hi, retired. Our flight attendant has a cleavage problem. Or not problem, depending on how you look at it. Also, we have a gamba for a bean prediction, courtesy of Dave. Letting a suitcase freely roll around has got to be a safety violation. Plane shaking caused it to roll. Yep. Here, I'll put it back. The glass from this display case is shattered all over the floor. No. So the saying is usually the saying is usually it's so hard that it can cut diamonds. So basically she has diamond cutter nips. They're so hard they could cut diamonds. Exactly. I don't know if it's that common, but... And it looks like there's nothing on the display inside either. Wait, actually, I think there's something. What's this? A mini captain's hat. You haven't heard it phrased like that? What do you mean? Just had some... Fried pickles are amazing, Dave. That sounds fucking amazing, Dave. And Zerder, that's a very common phrase. That probably used to be on this piggy bank's head. Let's give it a go and see. I believe this piggy bank was forcefully removed from this display case. Does this mean that the killer broke the glass to get at it? Nope. The culprit did not, because if that was the case, glass would be inside, not out. Right? Right? Something like that. Don't tell me you don't know what things go where in this shop. Well, I don't. Miss Rhoda's in charge of the shop. All that shit sounds really good, Dave. Coffee cola, coffee ice cream, chocolate whipped cream, and chocolate covered espresso beans. That sounds really good, actually. Come on, how should I know anything? Since further inspection of this case is needed. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. It's cranny time, B. Is this the same man as the one portrayed by the statues that around the elevator? Yeah, that's a paperweight of our founder, the founder of Yugo Airlines, Mr. Yugo Hughes. On the bottom, we have the cute one. In the middle is the realistic one. And on the top shelf, that's the floral version. Floral? Are you sure about that? Let me guess. You just said the first thing that came to your mind, right? Looks like I hit the bullseye. There's definitely something very unusual about this. About what? The killer had broken into the glass to get to the Captain Bank. There should be shards of glass inside the case, like I said. Ooh, I see. Yeah, I guess it'd be like that. However, there's not a single piece of glass inside the case. Nope, no there isn't. Which means that the glass was broken from the inside out. Which means the bear went through the glass. Hi, Rose. I don't have any lightning here. I'm gonna regret this later. I'm gonna om-nom on something, but I don't know what to om-nom on, because I just had mango. I want something salty. Oh, I have more pasta. I can do that. We'll do that. That'll be later. The piggy must have fallen over from the turbulence and right through the glass. Yeah, that's for sure. There's so much glass all over the floor. I'm willing to bet that this hat was knocked off its head at that time, too. Eh? That's nice. Which leads me to believe this. That the killer took the Captain Bank from here after the turbulence. Really? Take your power naps in your own time, Miss Mill, and listen when I'm talking. What? Wah! But the murder occurred before the turbulence, which rules this piggy bank out as a murder weapon. So you mean the bank's not the real murder weapon? Yeah. It's a fake. At this point, yes, that's a very real possibility. But then what if the killer went to take Captain Hugo? They broke the glass by accident. The display case is locked, so that's highly unlikely. You do know what her name means, right, Zerder? Cammy Meal? Yeah, like the tea. Dave got it. Cammy Meal. Fuck me. Seriously, Dave? Asshole. Asshole. Fucking dirty bandage again. I have so many of those damn things in here, too. I don't think I've gotten a single fucking pomegranate yet. Give me just a moment. I'm gonna put my mango up. Do I want more pasta? Not yet. Not yet. We'll figure that part out probably during the break. Give me just a moment. Mango gotta go up. Up, up, up. I have some Jarlsberg cheese. Little tiny salty snack. The display case is locked, so that's highly unlikely. Yeah, but there's one person who could have. Oh, and who would that be? Well, it had to be Miss Rhoda. It has like a nutty smell to it too. Oh my god, I fucking love Jarlsberg. I'd never had it before. I had my first piece of it like a couple weeks ago, or a week ago. It's definitely like a sweeter cheese. Miss Rhoda, of course. I mean, she's the one in charge of this place, so she has the keys to everything. Miss Rhoda, huh? Not a single piece of glass inside the case, which means the glass is broken from the inside out. Piggy bank must have fallen over and right through the glass, which leads me to believe that the killer took Captain Hugo from here after. That would also mean the piggy bank could not be the murder weapon. Is that it? I honestly don't care about this side, to be honest. Yes, there's definitely something wrong here. What's with the sudden yelling? Tell me, Miss Mill, don't you think there's something strange about these suitcases? Oh, well, sure. They're totally strange, like the color and such. It's not what I mean. Now pay attention. Ah, you're scaring me, Mr. Edgeworth. Sorry. These suitcases are lined up a bit too prim and proper. Yeah, they look a bit uptight, don't they? But I guess they take after their creator. Again, that's not what I meant, Miss Mill. Don't you find it unusual these cases are the only things undisturbed by the turbulence? Never mind. Sooner I find an answer by inspecting these cases myself. Upon closer inspection, they really are quite hideous. Yep, they sure are. Those things are ugly. You'll never lose your fucking suitcase with that. Teehee. Wonder how Miss Rhoda would have reacted if she heard what you just said. What's wrong? She makes a good point. It'd be wise of me to watch what I say out loud. What's this? I spotted something that's not quite right.
Take that!
There's something very peculiar about these wheels. Yes. Cheese. As in there are no stoppers in place on these. Without stoppers, one would think that the turbulence would have sent it flying. And it's very likely that this suitcase was placed here after we hit the turbulence. Let's take a closer look at it, shall we? Oop, hello. What's this? The wheel is completely covered in something. This color and the scent? It appears the substance is wine. But why would there be wine on the wheel of a suitcase? It would appear to be unlocked. Well, let's take a look at what's inside. Bum, bum, bum! A piece of cloth. And it's soaked with blood. Ah, it's blood. It appears that this suitcase is very strongly tied to our murder after all. Oh, good, gay gasp. Alright. Bean prediction is up. I want to eat the bean before the ads. I need to get the cheese out of my mouth because it's just going to make whatever bean I have just taste ass. Alright, here's hoping it's a pomegranate. I'm tired of eating fucking iodine. Oh my god! For fuck's sake! Is there even a pomegranate one in this fucking box? God, that's nasty. Ugh. God, that's nasty. Oh. Ah. Oh, it's so just nastacular. Blech. So explain this to me. What does this suitcase have to do with the murder? I believe it's pretty safe to say that the killer used this suitcase in some manner, such as to move something, perhaps. Eh? But aren't you just talking about the cloth, then? That alone is too small. A larger item would be needed to move what I'm thinking of. The thing I believe the killer used to move the suitcase to transport is... I can't present that, well...
Take that!
Something that would fit inside a suitcase that's also covered in blood? Sounds like a dead body, doesn't it? But, in light of this, I'd say Mr. Hicks was moved into the elevator from someplace else. Which means the murder was committed in an entirely different location. So you're saying that after moving the body into the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase in here and just left it? Exactly. What is it? Nothing. Just that I was thinking about what Miss Rhoda said about coming here for something. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. Wanted to give you a bit more time, but I'm afraid I wasn't able to convince the captain. I'm very sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but the captain feels he's allowed you ample time. He says he'd appreciate it if you could wrap things up here and return to your seat. I understand his sentiments, however, if I'm not allowed to complete my investigation, the crime scene may become contaminated by the time we land. If I must stop, then I insist to be allowed to oversee the preservation of the two sites. Under your supervision, of course. That's your only condition, and I believe we can accommodate your wishes. I'm here to assist you in any way that I can, Mr. Edgeworth. Sounds like fun. We can camp out and watch over everything together. I found proof that the real crime scene was not in the lounge, and I have enough evidence to prove myself to be innocent of any wrongdoing. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. And yet, regarding what Miss Meal reminded me about Miss Tenero, can't allow my investigation in here. The truth must come to light. To be contendered. I know that once we had landed, I'm supposed to let the local police take over. Thanks to Miss Tenero and Miss Meal, I was able to preserve the crime scene. I just can't shake it. I wasn't able to talk with Miss Tenero in private, so I'm left wondering just what she was up to and why she did do what she did. There must be a way for me to continue my investigation. I've been expecting you, Miles. And there's an ad! Me and my taste buds are just fuckered. So, I'm at 920. When I hit 1,000 followers, we're gonna do something really special. So I'm about 80 away. Unless something magical happens, that's not happening this year. It might happen next year, maybe. But it's definitely not happening this year. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but chains and whips and chains excite me. Nah, 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 come on. Gotta Rihanna that shit, right? Nah, 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 come on, come on, come on, nah, 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 nah. Sorry, I don't have a singing voice. I'm quite tone deaf compared to some people here. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but whips and chains excite me. I haven't heard the tune in my head in a while, so. I think when I hit 950, I'll do like a little small stream. But when I hit 1,000, that's gonna be a big thing. It won't be like the biggest thing I've done on stream. I can say that earlier on, I have given away plenty of games. I've given away not one, but 2 Nintendo Switches. The first one was a J. Kool-Aid way back when. Second one was in a big like relay stream when Mario Maker 2 came out. I won't do something that big, but we'll think of something. We'll think of something for that. Alright, everybody should be back from ads now. Franny, I thought you were still in Germany. I go where I am needed, and wherever there's criminals to be caught. Her name is Franziska von Karma, the daughter of my mentor, Manfred von Karma. She, like myself, is a prosecutor. Are you heading up this case? It'll be a bit of a relief if you are. Don't you try to flatter me. I'm placing you under arrest. What? It's quite frustrating, actually. I had hoped to exact my revenge on you in a different venue, but I'll have to take what I can get. I never thought I'd see the day when a disciple of the House of Von Karma would become a criminal. Have you no shame? Wait, It's all been a big misunderstanding. I didn't kill the victim. A misunderstanding. Heard all about the murder over the police radio from the captain himself. You waited for the victim on the first floor and then beat him to death. Francisca, do you honestly believe that I killed a man? I suppose I should reserve judgment until after I've investigated this for myself. I can put your arrest on hold until then. That's as it should be. I don't need a lecture to perform my duties. Fuck you. To be perfect in every way, that's the fulfillment of that creed alone is all I strive for. I have my own creed in which I must fulfill, so why don't we solve this together? I have to get going. The crime scene awaits. Don't you dare leave town. Trust me, I had no intention to. Detective? Too slow. Listen up. I'm leaving you in charge of watching this man. Don't fuck up, understand? Mr. Edgeworth, I'm supposed to guard him? A simple yes or no, detective. Yes, sir. Understood, sir. Just leave it to me. Miles, if you interfere with my investigation, I'll arrest you on the spot. Are we cleared? Now then, if you'll excuse me. Good to see you again, sir. Boy, am I glad to see you're okay. Thank you, detective. I believe in you, sir. You can lean on me. I'll get you through this. I have to admit, I'm a bit curious as to what Francisca is up to. Maybe I should ask the good detective. Very well. In that case, I have a few questions for you. Looking from behind, I think I've seen this man somewhere before. Nom 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 nom. In Soviet Russia, world-flagged lunchboxes eat you! Found it, lol. Oh, I feel a wave of creative powers oncoming. It's over 9,000, lols. For my next lead movie, it's gonna be the Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo Old Tokyo, versus the World Samurai, the champion of Earth. This is gonna rock so many boxers. So the Steel Samurai is finally getting a movie. A lunch land? Not bad. I guess it's gotten big enough to warrant its own branch of shops. What should I go with? I recommend our airport special, World Flag lunchboxes, only available for a limited time. We have a variety of lunchboxes and made to look like different fun clubs. Blah 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 blah. We have a variety of lunchboxes made up to look like different country flags. I wonder if they're aiming to take Lunchland to the international market. Oh, ew, it's herpes. Zerder. Salmonella does not give you herpes. I wouldn't wrap anything near that thing to tap it. Salmonella is not a disease. It's not a disease, Zerder. It's a bacteria. Bacteria. You're just jealous because that man's probably making more than all of us. How's the initial investigation going? We just shipped the body off to the coroner's office, and we're taking statements now, sir. Sounds like Francisca. Zerder, most things are 5 out of 10, unless it's one of your projects and or fabric. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Thank you. I hate that. Okay, look, you said it. You have to be almost done with Dragonair too, right? I know you're making progress with the eye embroidery. Sounds like Franziska. She was always good at quick responses to a case. I'd say she was a little too quick, sir. Oh, how so? That's done, as far as I know, Dave. Or as done as it's gonna get. Oh, I rushed over as soon as I got word from the affair, sir. But somehow, when I got here, Von Karma was already barking out orders at everyone. It's kind of creepy, so she knew there had been a murder or something. And had come in advance to await your flight's arrival. Sort of odd. She did show up rather quickly and out of the blue. Plus, I still don't know why she's here in America. There must be some backstory to all of this. This Von Karma kind of just popped up at the prosecutor's office about a week ago. Something about chasing down leads related to a certain incident. No details? It's kind of top secret, so she can't talk about it with me, sir. I'm trying to keep the air from the fan from hitting my mic. There we go. But it's not blowing on me anymore, and I'm getting hot. Knowing her, the only type of talking she likes to do is with her whip. Plus, I doubt the top secret part was what stopped her from talking to you. Although, I wonder if her case has anything to do with mine. Anyway, that's about all the info I have, sir. We should find out more as we investigate. That's right, I'm getting hot under the collar. Starting with talking to the people involved with this case afresh. You must be the captain. Why, yes, I am. And who might you be? I'm the prodigy prosecutor, Franziska Von Karma, and I have a few questions for you. Ah, don't you dare, Captain, getting friendly with another woman. I'll never forgive you if you do. What are you talking about? I only have eyes for you, my dear Cammy. I wouldn't bet money on our dear captain to be much of a reputable person. Sure you don't want to ask the captain some questions, sir? He was in the cockpit the entire time. I doubt he would know anything of use. Anyway, I like to leave that type of witness to Franziska and her whip. Ah. Now see here. Ah. Sorry, I'm sorry. How long do you intend to hold me? It's impossible for me to be the criminal, I told you. Mr. LeBlanc? Oh, it's you. Tell this man to stop stopping me from going. Time is money. I don't even have 1 second of wasteful time to spend. Oh, well, fuck. Looks like we can't go beyond here, sir. Plus, the body has been sent off to the medical examiner's office for an autopsy. Sir, you can't go in there. I'm Miles Edgeworth. I'm one of the prosecutors on this case, so please let me through. I'm very sorry, sir. No one is allowed to enter without Von Karma's express permission. But I'm on the case. Yes, I understand that, but I also have explicit instructions not to let you through from Miss Von Karma. Why would you do this to me, Franny? Did you finish taking a statement yet? Yep, all done, sir. I do not concern if you're done examining the cargo hold. I want my cargo back. Make a single scratch on my art, you will pay. Art? What sort of art? Mr. LeBlanc is an art dealer, so he's got a bunch of artwork down the cargo hold, sir. There's practically a mountain of them, large and small. From folk costumes to stone statues, I sell all kinds of arts. Folk costumes. Speaking of which, Mr. LeBlanc's hat kind of looks like that other piece of cloth. Mr. LeBlanc, can you take a look at this for me? Oh, it's Borginian cloth. As expected, your hat is made of the same material, I suppose. Yes, of course. This fabric is so famous, orders come from overseas for more. Then this is the cargo you were talking about from earlier? No, no, no. My cargo this time is much, many gigantic. You, detective, when can I have my cargo moved? You can get your cargo back when we're done with the investigation, pal. The stubbornness of you police is no good. And it is no good that attendant refuses to exit the attendant's room. That attendant? What if he's talking about Miss Tenero? What did you mean by that attendant, Mr. LeBlanc? She was taken into the attendant's room for her interview, and they still not have come out. They make no sign of coming out either. I was finished with my own interview much earlier, quicker than her. Why is her interview the only one that's taken up so much time? Miles, you were given free rein to examine the plane, weren't you? Yes, I was able to obtain the cooperation of the flight attendants. Speaking of attendants, I'd like to speak with Miss Tenero. Or if you might grant me permission to enter the flight attendant's room. Before I do, you still have to clear up a few issues surrounding your own circumstances. You may have tricked those attendants with your sophisticated talking, but you can't pull the wool over my eyes, Miles. Bitch! Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. The scene of the crime was here in the very lounge and the body was discovered. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was found, the only person in this lounge the entire time was you. This unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect. Blah, 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 blah. I apparently am tongue-tied as fuck. The likeliest suspect? Do you have a problem with that? No, but it's not like you to use such vague wording. You're usually a bit more absolute. I'm simply trying to watch out for you. Or is my kindness too hard for you to comprehend? Thank you, but your leniency is unnecessary, for I will prove my innocence soon enough. If I want to continue my investigation, I'll have to break her bullshit quick. Hi, Shine. Welcome in.
Hold it!
Don't you think you're being a bit rash by simply declaring me the culprit? Silly Toby, tricks are for kids. I know. Well, hi. I like my affairs to be simple and perfect. I'll show you the meaning of both when I finish this whole thing within 3 minutes. Say it like you're cooking a pack of instant noodles. Gumshoe? No. I won't allow even 3 seconds of useless bullshit uttered in my presence. Goodbye! I see she hasn't changed a bit. That's true. But I won't allow her to send me to prison so easily.
Objection!
It would appear that you did not have all the information you needed after all. And what does that mean? I found a nice piece of evidence just before I was forced to stop investigating. A piece that proves the body was moved. From a different location. Gotta do our little head bobs. I like this remix. This updated music. This is good. So, from what I can tell, this remake, they completely revamped the entire game from top to bottom. They redid all the sprite work, they redid all the music, they changed everything for this. So, I'm guessing the sales of this will determine if there is an Ace Attorney 7 coming, from what I was told. Now, I don't think Shu Takumi will be the one to do it, but I know Capcom likes their cash cows. And this game is from what, 2009? 2008? Somewhere around there? It's from the first DS. And then the second one was literally a year later in Japan and never went anywhere else. So when we get to Prosecutor's Gambit, I know that Capcom has been pretty big on, we'll see what we're doing. If the remakes do good, then other stuff comes out. Like the sales from Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter World brought in Monster Hunter Wilds. Likewise, the fighting game collections that are coming out, those sales will probably usher in another Marvel vs. Capcom series. If you're a fan of the fighting games. They're probably in the process of making Resident Evil 9 too. I don't know how successful Village was. But if they make Ace Attorney 7 and they make that announcement, they're gonna make some music. They're gonna make some music. They're gonna make some money. Oh, welcome back, B. Yeah, this remake music is really good. Am I changing your opinion on it? But let's continue. Let's continue with the story. A piece that proves that the body was moved from a different location. The killer used this suitcase to move the victim's body, meaning that the real scene of the crime is not this lounge at all. Now, who's the one rashly jumping to conclusions? Excuse me. All you did was find this piece of cloth inside the suitcase. That doesn't prove that the body was moved. It could be that the killer simply chose that suitcase as a good place for hide the cloth. Expected you would come to that conclusion. It would seem I can't escape that easily. There's no worries about that, Shine. You should know better than that. Von Karma is perfect in every way. But did you know that the killer definitely wheeled the suitcase around at some point? As if there's proof of that. Well, we have two things. We can do this, or we can do the suitcase itself. They both come with it. The spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. Yes, and I'd like to draw your attention to this area here. This mark here, wouldn't you say that it looks like tracks from two wheels? I suppose. Further, there's also grape juice residue on the wheels of the suitcase. This means that the suitcase containing the victim's body definitely passed through here. I suppose this means that the killer did move the victim's body from somewhere else. I'm glad you come to your senses. Not so fast. This still doesn't put you in the clear. Not by a long shot. You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit the turbulence. Frau Braun never right. Actually, that's not true, Tom. She's been right quite a few times. How are you doing tonight, good sir? And then you waited for the victim in the lounge, where you beat him to death. Then, while you were in the elevator with the victim's body stuffed into the suitcase, the plane hit that patch of turbulence and out flew the body from within the suitcase. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back from where you'd taken it from and pretended to be the discoverer of the body. Not a bad bit of logic for something you thought of on the fly. What are you insinuating? I will show you exactly how flawed your logic is. No matter how strong of a face you put on, not even you can hide your fears from me. I'll expose the flaws in her logic in one fell swoop.
Hold it!
And how do you suppose I was able to take the piggy bank out of its display case? As I recall, the case was locked. That's easy. If the case was locked, you simply had to hit the glass like this. Ow! You shattered my heart of glass. So she wants to talk about the in-flight shop and the Captain Bank, does she? That takes care of how you obtained the murder weapon. Bitch, that thing is not the murder weapon! Alright, hold on here. We already know that it fell out after the turbulence.
Objection!
The fact that you took this piece of evidence into account in your testimony is to be commended. Your legal prowess is certainly something to be feared. Evidence and logic, essential tools that those who would stand in the courtroom must learn to master. But if there was a fake piece of evidence thrown into the mix, a fake, this Captain Hugo piggy bank is just a fake. It is not the real murder weapon. What? The timing of when the bank was taken from the shop is important. It was taken after the turbulence had occurred. But then what about the blood on the bank? What do you make of that? I assume it was added after the murder when the killer fabricated this weapon. Looking at it this way, the killer basically did 3 things after the turbulence. After exiting the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase to the shop and left it there. The killer then proceeded to pick up the bank off the floor and took it to fabricate the fake murder weapon by hitting the victim on the head. The victim's wallet was planted on my personage in my pocket, to be precise. Everything was done so that I would be framed for the murder of Mr. Ackby Hicks. You there. Yes, ma'am. Other than this piggy bank, was anything else resembling a murder weapon found? We didn't find anything in this lounge or in the shop that could be used as one, ma'am. Most of the items that could have been used were broken during the turbulence. And the remaining items all tested negative for any trace of blood. I see. Well, Miles, it appears your stall tactics are at an end. But it's possible that it's just hidden somewhere, sir. If the criminal had wanted to hide the weapon in a safer place, I think the weapon would have been hidden in the same place as the bloody cloth. Exactly what I was thinking, because the cloth was hidden inside the suitcase. That signals to me that the killer had not prepared a more secure place to hide the evidence. Which means that the real murder weapon is either still on the murderer's personage, or at the real crime scene. There's one more possibility, and that would be that the piggy bank is in fact the real weapon. But didn't we just... Let me finish. The killer took the piggy bank out from the display case before the turbulence by opening the lock on the display case door. And it was at that time the glass pane on the door was broken. I'd say it's a perfectly reasonable line of reasoning, wouldn't you? Let's see, so that means the killer had the key to the display case? Francisca, the person you're talking about... Not so fast, I'm not finished. That person I'm talking about also committed another sin. She tricked the captain, and granted you permission to conduct your investigation. Yes, it's the sin of lying. Speaking of which, I recall you also wish to speak with her. Yes, very well, permission granted, but only if I can sit in on your interrogation. Do we understand each other? Ooh, very nice, Shine. I have no intention of interrogating her, but you are welcome to accompany me if you so wish. Miss Tenero is in the flight attendant's room. Let's move. So you're the one that poked around inside this plane without Captain's permission. Deviating from the flight attendant's manual is very unbecoming, you know. What were you hoping to accomplish by doing that? Miss Tenero. Ah, Mr. Edgeworth, you're here too. Can you please help us shed some light on why you did what you did? Alright. It's one of those suitcases signed by Miss Tenero. It's hardly ever been used by the lack of a single scratch on it. It's pretty easy to tell who sleeps in which bunk just by looking. I'm almost certain that the well-kept one up top belongs to Miss Rhoda. You know, this bottom one's a giant mess. You sloven, squalid scoundrel of a man. You dare scrutinize a woman's bed and invade her privacy. There are some things in life best kept to yourself, detective. Yeah. Oh, that's all it is. Ah. Miles Edgeworth, isn't there something that you should be doing right now? Of course, I should be asking Miss Tenero for her side of the story. That's right, and how does that have to do with that? What's over there? Nothing really. If you already knew that, then why don't you hurry with the interrogation already? You stupid bitch. Why did you lie about receiving the captain's permission like that? Because I didn't think I would be able to get his permission. What do you mean? The captain, he only has ears for Cammy. Spoke with the captain a little earlier myself. He definitely seemed to be rather taken with Miss Meal. Yes, and on top of that, I had mistakenly accused Mr. Edgeworth of being the killer. I wanted to make amends. In that case, please allow me to thank you for what you did. Thanks to you, I was able to clear myself of all charges. Really? You were able to prove your innocence? Oh, thank goodness. Miss Tenero, is it? There's one more thing I'd like to ask you. You were in the in-flight shop just before the turbulence, weren't you? Please answer honestly. Yes, I was. Why were you there? Well, why the sudden hesitation? Franziska seems to have struck a nerve. All I did was go and check on the shop like I always do. You're saying it was for work then? Yes, I'm in charge of the shop, so I have to keep an eye on it. I don't have any reason to go there otherwise. After your visit to the shop, you paid a visit to this room, correct? Yes, I came back to freshen up and adjust my makeup. Sorry, but there isn't much else to tell. She claims to have no reason other than duty to go to the shop. But is that all there is to it? Maybe I should ask her about that thing. Nope. Present. If you could, please take a look at this for me, Miss Tenero. Oh, that suitcase. Yes, about this suitcase. You're the one who designed it, correct? And I think I figured something else out about it. This suitcase is the reason you went to the shop, isn't it? There's nothing you won't find out eventually, is there? Won't you please tell us more about the suitcase? Yes, well, I was interested in seeing how the suitcases I had designed were selling. This is not. This one actually made it to the US. This is from the first game. I know that as a service professional, I'm not supposed to care. But I really wanted to know. Aww. Some people do pay attention. I don't have the time. You could tell. Zerder and Neb fry the fucking brain cells, and by the time it gets to me, it's just all... Pfft. See, Tom is a fan of Pearl Mia. But I really wanted to know. Fuck you! I can't wait until I get to Spirit of Justice. Oh, are you gonna be so upset? Eventually we'll get there. Oh, are you gonna be upset with the way they made that game? And I was glad to see it was the last one there. Pearl's not in that one, by the way, Tom. Pearl does come back in one of them, but I'm not going to tell you which one. The last one there. So you're saying, Miss Tenero, that the suitcase in question was the last one? Yes, they're just so popular, they're practically flying off the shelves. That's not the impression I got. The one in the shop is most definitely the last one. Well, we are currently looking at that suitcase. Really? Then I guess we sold out of them. Thank you very much for taking the last one. I didn't say anything about buying it. What the fuck is all this? There you go. I didn't say anything about buying it. Then say you'll buy it. I'm sorry, I can't. But why? I think it'd go great with your complexion, Mr. Edgeworth. It really suits you. I guarantee it personally as a service professional. Well, that is... how should I put this? It's hideous! What? Maybe that was just a bit too direct. Moving on. My issue with the suitcase isn't the design, it's the number of them remaining. Remaining? There were 2 suitcases in the shop when I investigated it. 2? But that's impossible! I'm sure there was only 1. Looks like our story has generated quite the contradiction. When I left the shop, I'm positive there was just 1 suitcase left. Something's amiss. What could be this inconsistency? By the way, Miss Tenero, what is one of those suitcases doing here? I thought you said there was only 1 left. That one is, well, it's mine. I've used it for a very long time now. She's used it for a long time? I think not. I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't lie to me. Excuse me. I don't believe for even 1 second that you've used this for a very long time. What proves that this hasn't been used? Oh, well, you don't leave the fucking price tag on it.